Cue the music, let's go. I'm your boy Ro, OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys, and welcome to another edition of Student of the Game Scout Team. Yeah, we're taking a look at upcoming opponents towards the back end of the season. Hope you enjoy the Student of the Game film review. And it's Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech. Now the University of Miami play Georgia Tech this 12 o'clock at Bobby Dodd in Atlanta, and it's a common opponent, and I figured let's go under the hood, shall we? Virginia Tech would win this game 21-7, but first play of the game, let's take a look at it. On the back end, Georgia Tech in a two-safety shell, and Virginia Tech, they're trying to send a message. They're trying to take a shot early. The way that they're trying to manufacture this, they're 11 set personnel. They got one tight end, one running back. They're going to go ahead and do a play-action pass series, and it does its job because when they do this, you're bringing it down, you're eliciting a response from the second level. And third level too, well, that's where Drones, quarterback Virginia Tech, he's paying attention. He's paying attention to that field side safety here. And when he reads that running back, it sucks him down. So now you have the one-on-one. That's what you were trying to manufacture, and you're trying to do like a come back and go here at the top of the screen. One thing I do notice here too by this cornerback, he's content to give his back to the quarterback. So he's not watching. He's playing the wide receiver. So something to pay attention to in the film room, especially if you're a quarterback. Now they're going to take this shot. He wants to. We'll go back and show exactly how that right tackle gets beat there. And that's going to be a key for me this week is the University of Miami. You've heard of the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Well, we need to have the CPA this week. We have to have the Chem Protection Agency. We have to up our ball game and keeping that Heisman hopeful safe for the remainder of the season. They just lose it. That's all that happens. Just lose it, goes ahead, extends, gets beat. Just let's meet at the QB. There's a sack in Georgia Tech, even on 1st and 10, first play of the game. They're going to get after it a little bit. So we're off and running on this scout team series. Let's go. Over to Georgia Tech's side of the ball, and they're using their 12-set personnel. Here's your one running back, two tight ends, and they're doing a simple roll flood. They're rolling the quarterback, and they're taking all available pass-catching options, and they're going to go ahead and flood one side of the field. Virginia Tech does a really good job on the front end, but they lose sight of a tight end on the back end, and it's an easy pitch and catch. So let's show it, shall we? Defensive end right here, too. I think he's kind of like reading like a zone run kind of a key because he's really creeping down on the hip right there. Boom. So kind of losing contain a little bit on this side. And when I said Virginia Tech's going to go ahead and defend this great on the front end, you see it. They're in prime position. They're taking this away. Now, backside safety, he's trying to go ahead and take away some of the deep threats. He's trying to bracket off that flood, right? And Cal, if you remember this, Cal ran something similar where they came up and then they sucked this corner and came back over the top, and that was one of their big plays. I love those corner post moves. So he's kind of in position for that. But what happens on the back end, tight end is just delaying across the field on this flood, wide open. So something that you have to put in your back pocket. They are using a flood series. They are going to roll the pocket. They're going to change the launch point for that. But if they do, let's see if we can keep track of their tight ends just a little bit better than Virginia Tech did on that particular play. Wow, super effective play by Georgia Tech here on 2nd and 5. It is from their 12-set personnel again, one running back, two tight ends. And again, it's their backside tight end that's going to get free and clear. It's the threat of the quarterback zone read here that really sets this play up. And you got to see like the chess that happens within the trenches, right? So when you're selling the quarterback zone read, there's a chance that you could have zone blocking up front. Now, on this side, Georgia Tech's respective offensive line, their left side, they're going to basically sell it, right? When you see this, they're all coming out in tandem. So that looks like that front side, that looks like that zone blocking, right? So now you have a defensive end for Virginia Tech. He's clamping down. He's being taught, okay, because if they give that halfback like dive element to the quarterback zone read, we're going to come downhill. We're going to go ahead and blow that up. But there's a problem, right? You take that over-aggressive tendency, and the counter to that, well, you add a pulling element, and it becomes like a pin-pull variety. So now you got some beef coming your way. Bam, you kind of meet that. You suck them in on purpose, and now we kind of moved our gaps from like CBA. Now we're pushing BA inside, and this is just getting loose outside. So losing sight of that halfback coming across the field, too easy of a pitch and catch. That's twice now Georgia Tech early on. They're going to use their backside tight end elements coming across the formation. Miami has to keep sight of them this week. Miami just has to keep track of this guy. They have to know where their tight end is. at all times, especially when he's back offset like this, because here it goes again, little play action trying to sell it. And again, he's opening it to the flat. You can't make it that easy for the quarterback routinely. They just get into rhythm and get into rhythm and get into rhythm. You got to go ahead and take that safety blanket away. You have some options. You know, one of the things too that I'm saying here too, like you have this run blitzer that's coming up to try to blow up the mesh point. I just think too, you just go ahead and be on alert, and you see this coming your way, just meet him. Just meet him. Just blow him up right here. Bam. Just go ahead and take him out of the play. And then you go ahead and bounce off and try to get the quarterback somewhere else on the second level. So I don't know. I'm just spitballing there. That's not my strong suit. I just see what I see and say what I say. But I know one thing's for sure. Just too easy. So we're trying to run the same exact play that Cal scored on the University of Miami earlier on in the year. They're going to roll the pocket. They're going to go ahead and try to take this corner, and you're going to see it. He goes corner, and then you see him. He's breaking. It's hard to tell that he's breaking back into the post. So there's their shot play. But before he gets it, gets swallowed up there. So they did run that roll play earlier. They did set that up. They had a corner. They ended up getting the backside tight end earlier on that play, but they were setting up that shot. That was the shot play. That was the counter to it. University of Miami, you were victimized on pretty much the same exact play. So got to be on alert when they roll the pocket for the deep shot over the top, especially on that front side corner redirect to a post. This is going to be a good play by Virginia Tech. They're going to swallow up this run, but the one thing that I'm noticing, obviously, Georgia Tech 2x2 look pistol, it's Baylor spread-esque. I mean, when we talk about that, look at your two wide receivers. They're outside the hash and then some, and they're touching numbers. So you're creating a lot of space here. You're going to loosen your box count numbers. So if Georgia Tech decides to employ this strategy against the University of Miami, they got to be comfortable in space. Virginia Tech counters, goes odd, goes 3-3 right here. Great play right here. Just goes ahead and reads it, swallows this up into the backfield. This is going to be a tackle for loss. So can't be afraid to tackle in space, especially when they try to utilize the space race from that Baylor spread. Virginia Tech, with a beautifully designed tight end leak play, is going to take advantage of an over-aggressive safety by Georgia Tech. Now, one thing we've noticed first half, at least against Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech very confident in their two-safety look. However, two safeties doesn't automatically scream that, hey, we're trying to protect shots over the top. A lot of times you can get your safeties to aggressively play downhill, and when you can catch them, you can catch them in a big way. So, again, Virginia Tech utilizing two tight ends on the field, and this run action, pay attention. This is where it's won and lost right here. He's going ahead, and as soon as he sees that run action, he's now coming down to play it hardcore. And this was the tight end leak. Initially, the tight end was looking for work, acting busy, and they just leak him across the formation. This was something I think Virginia Tech had earlier in the week, had it scouted, knew the tendency, maybe knew that, hey, from this formation, they like to play downhill. So even though you see two safeties and you're going ahead, those RPOs, those post-snap RPOs, maybe you could catch a Georgia Tech safety coming downhill hardcore. We're not the biggest tight end league team either, but you got to pay attention anytime it's super successful from another team. Hey, tip your cap to the Virginia Tech Hokies, because you're going to see this play and you're like, how did you let the tight end get so wide open? Seems to be some confusion on the back end, and it looks like, hey, we're just cover zero. There's no safeties over the top, and then you're just going to let a tight end go down the middle of the field? No, not necessarily, my friend. I like it. I like it a lot because he's currently lined up as your right tackle. Yep. That's your tight end. He has the number. He's lined up as a right tackle, so it's right tackle, right guard, center. And then you see all 70 numbers out here. So, yeah, it just confuses them just along the offensive, defensive line front. And who's thinking that a right tackle is going out for a play? Georgia Tech certainly didn't. So utilize that with some tempo. I don't know. Great play, Virginia Tech. Got to tip your cap. Got to pay attention anytime something's that wide open. Now you know why. You really need to watch the tight ends this week. Basically going to go in there, sell like he's blocking, just leak out into the flat. Hey, we ran this formation last week against Manny Diaz and Duke, right? 4x1 diamond look. The first time we hit a slant. The second time we hit that beautiful touchdown to Jacoby George, who was just streaking. And here's like play number 3. Maybe we were sharing the same playbook. Who knows? But they're going to sell the same thing. There you go. You're on alert. Elicits the same response, right? You got 4-on-4. And this is a good, nice little wrinkle. Just QB draw. Super successful on 2nd and 6. Hey, put the ball on the outside shoulder, get the first down. So, yeah, that 4x1 diamond look working for us against Duke, and it's working against Georgia Tech for Virginia Tech. You know, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but you can't argue it was super successful. Georgia Tech comes out, stack formation, 2x2 look, right? You're on alert anytime you see this for a potential quick screen, right? So Georgia Tech doesn't really have the numbers outside up here. It's a 2-for-1, and you're going to see a safety. He's pointing, right? He's like, clap, 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 clap. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, now late to the party. Okay, now he comes here. They're trying to hit this stutter go from the wide receiver 2 position, and then watch what happens. Just snaps back, poorly thrown ball, poor decision, and you get the interception. So I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I definitely like this because I feel like University of Miami sometimes pre-snap make it real easy to identify. The quarterback knows he's going to go right here because he's like, look, it's 2-for-1. So this late little movement, I enjoy stuff like this, right? Whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. But interception for Virginia Tech, and obviously they're going to go on to win this game, but great play there. I love daggers. I just do. It's a dagger concept where you have a 2, he's going to run a seam, and then you're running a dig route or an in-breaking route over the top of it. It's going to be a gun 5. All right, so they have that in the playbook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, trying to get this downfield. There's the seam, and then you're going to see the dagger coming in right underneath it, the dig. Bam, perfectly thrown ball there. A couple things that I find interesting and noteworthy on it too, really only giving him one route here because obviously he's not looking for the ball. Tight end is looking to block first. So it's an all or nothing on that dig. I mean, he leaks out late, but that's kind of a check down option. So in a gun 5, they're just really giving one option for the quarterback here. And arm talent wise, I've been watching Cam Ward all year. That ball kind of comes off his hand and a lot quicker. Just saying. Now, as this game's getting into the fourth quarter, I'm getting the sense that the Georgia Tech offense operates in premise like a lot of other teams that we have faced this year do, and that is quick perimeter passes, a lot of window dressings, some motions to try to get the advantage and just try to create the leverage advantage maybe out there on the perimeter. And that's exactly what they do here, trying to utilize some exit motion, trying to go ahead and get the redirect only to come back and throw a screen. Now, this defensive tackle, hats off to you, my friend. And this is the type of play that the University of Miami is going to need against an offense like this because he immediately knows, why did me and all my friends just get let a free pass into the VIP section into the quarterback's lap? Oh, I know why, because it's a screen. So he turns, about faces, and what a great play by the defensive tackle to go ahead and swallow this up. He had the headiness to realize that was a trap, that was a screen, and he turns around and makes one hell of a play. So University of Miami, be on alert for the quick, simple offense. Don't fall for the window dressing this week, and it's plays like that you're going to need. And this is going to be the last clip of the evening on a 4th and 10 inside 2 minutes. Georgia Tech is going to throw an interception. It comes from their 3-by-1 look, and they're trying to utilize that dagger concept again. It was successful the first time they tried it. This time, not so much. There's an added wrinkle to it. They're going to take their wide receiver 3 and put him out into the flat. But you're going to see the dagger materialize here at the top. Number 2 is going to go vertical. Number 1 is going to take a dig route. And I think this is what kind of blows up a little bit of the timing here. Because Virginia Tech, hey, listen, I'm looking for work. Might as well go ahead and take a shot on that guy while I'm looking for some work. I think it disrupts the timing. And, wide receiver, you got to catch that. You don't, and Virginia Tech's going to secure the W and ride off into the sunset. So for your final time, I hope you enjoyed the Scout Team. I'm your boy Ro, OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys. Stay safe, my friends, and as always, bang.